I never thought I would live to see a day in America when wrong is right and right become wrong. Now wrong is leading the way in America. It's amazing. You can literally, it's so bad that you can literally steal an election and get away with it. And because wrong is now presented as right, and right is presented as wrong. And so when you stand up and do right, you can be punished now in America. But if you should do wrong, you can get away with it. No crime, no punishment. In America, a Judeo-Christian nation, I never thought I would be able to see. It just didn't occur to me growing up in America. I've been here for a while, and I never thought that being wrong would be considered as a right. Looking at all these people who have been elected in the government in this country, some of the worst perverted people you ever want to see is now running in the government. The Christian country has voted them into government. Radical wrong people too, not just wrong people who know they're wrong but don't quite know how to overcome it, but radical people who are pushing immorality as moral, right, wrong as a right. And it's all because they have managed to demoralize the people. Demoralize the people. It's mind-blowing to see it, folks. They have managed to demoralize, and you can only control someone or a people if you demoralize them first. Look what happened to the blacks. And not all, but most blacks are so out of control, it's ridiculous now. It's just gone. And no one seemed to care. The blacks don't care, and the people using them don't care. I was thinking about, and I was talking to Hake about this, this whole stealing of the election, and it's not being really said out loud or told out loud what really happened. And I don't know, but I believe that, and this real big stealing happened in the states where blacks were in control of the voting booths and counting ballots and things like that. Detroit, Philadelphia, Georgia, and I don't know about Nevada. I don't know if the blacks are in control up there yet. But, and I noticed that the people are afraid to call it what it is, stealing the election. In those black-controlled states, for the most part. And the reason is because the blacks stole. They helped to steal the election. And the whites are afraid to say, well, the black people were doing this. And they were blocking off windows and they were doing this. Because if they do, and it's representatives and everyone, not just the regular white folks, but they're afraid to say it because they don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be threatened by the blacks. They are afraid. And I don't have all the proof yet, but I can almost guarantee you it's in those districts where blacks were handling the ballots. I can almost bank on it. So we're still searching. And that's why the white folks are having such a hard time saying that the election was completely stolen. Because anytime you want destruction, you rent a black, and you're going to get it. But when it's time for good, the blacks are not going to show up, for the most part. Look at the attacks upon the cops today. The blacks are too happy to go out and curse out a cop, attack a cop. They have no problem. I remember there was a time in America when we respected law enforcement, not out of fear, but out of an appreciation for what they did to protect the innocent. the good folks in the communities. But now, if good people stand up for cops in the black community, and not just the black community, they are attacked. But if the bad folks stand up, they're praised. Good is called evil, and evil is called good in America. What do you think the outcome is going to be? It's not going to be well, folks. That's why you have to overcome evil in your own personal life and in your public life. You got to deal with it. You can't run. It will destroy you. Look at South Africa. There are examples around what happens when you get rid of the family. In America, I've been saying for 30 years that blacks are suffering due to the lack of family, lack of moral character, and a belief in God. But no one's doing anything about the family. They are training young people, encouraging them to have sex out of wedlock, to live together before marriage. It's okay to stay in your parents' home now and have sex. And the parents are welcoming in it, especially the mothers. What do you think is going to happen when you demoralize a people? You lose the country. It's really an honor, a blessing to see men and women, especially millennials, because they've been so corrupt, brainwashed and dumbed down, smoking pot. They've been convinced that morality is okay. It's not, folks. And I understand your parents didn't protect you. They were not good examples at home. You were brainwashed by the schools. And so last week, biblical question was, when and why did men start moving into a woman's place? When and why? And I don't know if we really came to a complete win, but it was a very interesting discussion. One young lady said that when she was 14 years old, 14, her mother allowed her boyfriend to move in. The girl boyfriend, the 14-year-old boyfriend, to move into their home and live with them. And not just one boyfriend, but two. I can't even conceive that. When I was growing up and when I started dating, I didn't even let my parents know I was dating for a while. And there was no way that I would have thought of living in their home with my girlfriends or even having sex in their homes. If we did, believe me, the parents didn't know anything about it. But now the parents, and a lot of these parents are Christians. Oh, yeah, you don't have to be married. Move on in. Mama love you. I'd rather for you to have sex in the home than in a car. What the? How do you expect your children to turn out when you set a bad example for them, especially as a Christian? I can see the children of the lie doing that because they have no insight, no light, no morals, no values. But I cannot. I know why the Christian parents are doing it, but it's amazing to me that they would do that. I would never let my son or my granddaughter or my grandson or my great-grandson live in my home unmarried or have sex in my home and I know about it. It would not happen because it's not helping them. That's not the right way. They will suffer for that. And the parents will suffer too because when you demoralize your kids like that, they become a problem for you for the rest of your life. You suffer. You have to take care of them. Brand new biblical question. And God is not for that, by the way. Brand new biblical question. Brand new biblical question. Who is the Christian's worst enemy? Who is the Christian's worst enemy? Isn't that an amazing question? Yes, Jesse. That's really an amazing question. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.